It's just doing its own thing today. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing on today? I'm Angela Anderson of Angela's Literary Cafe, and I am hanging out with Sharon C. Cooper on today. You guys already know, yes, I'm fangirl, and I love me some Sharon C. Cooper and all of her books. She has some amazing series from contemporary romance to romantic suspense to rom-com. I mean, we love us some Sharon C. Cooper. And on today, she has brought back a series or some family members that we all love, the Jenkins family. And we're going to be talking about her latest release, A Love So Strong. And guys, all I can say is it's summertime and it's a family reunion. Sharon, please introduce yourself to the people, my friend.
Hello. Thanks for having me, Angela. I'm Sharon C. Cooper, as Angela mentioned. I've been on our show many a time, so I think I'm probably a regular now. And like she mentioned, I write romantic suspense and contemporary romance, as well as dabble a little bit in rom com. The book we're going to kind of chat about for a few minutes today is A Love So Strong, the Jenkins family. And I'm looking forward to the conversation.
I love it. I love it. And guys, yes, as Sharon said, we are going to be discussing. She showed you the copy in print. I'm showing it to you in ebook. Love So Strong. And Sharon, of course, the Jenkins is like, with the Reunited series is like, with Atlanta's Finest. We just love these characters or what have you. When you think about it, what inspired you to, because it's been a moment, what inspired you to bring us some more goodness from the Jenkins family?
Yeah, I received the Jenkins family has always been popular for whatever reason. That series kind of took off. People enjoyed it. And what made me kind of revisit it and kind of revisit the girls, so to speak, were the emails. I received so many requests, like where are they now? Are we going to get any more? What are you waiting for? The list is endless. And so when the idea for the family reunion came to mind, I was like, okay, I'd like to do a little something to bring the girls back and kind of like where are they now, kind of thing. And so I'll admit it was a little
Yeah.
harder than I thought it would be, but it was fun. It was fun, and the feedback has been phenomenal. So thank you, everyone who's kind of been sharing the
And
passing the
Sharon,
word a little
I
bit.
love that because that's one thing that I can say about you is that look, you listen to your readers and our
I try
requests.
to. I really do try to. And I love the emails. Love, love, love the emails. They're usually have me chuckling or have me going, that's an interesting idea. So yeah, so I try whenever I can to do what they ask.
I love that. I love that. And I want to talk a little bit about this cover, which both you and I, we have on our pink, and this cover guy is like pink and reds and all that good stuff as well. So I tried to match the cover a little bit on today.
Okay. I
But
hadn't
tell us
even thought
about
about
what
that.
inspired, and if for those who read the book, they'll kind of get they'll kind of know, but what inspired this amazing cover and the title? Tell us a little bit about that too. So kind of two questions.
Well, because there are five stories in one, basically, five short stories in one. I needed a title that could cover all five stories. And then the cover, I give all credit to Liz Bank Designs. She hooked it up. Yeah, that was mostly her. Yeah, but the title
Yes,
definitely, I just needed a title to kind of
I
go
would
with
definitely
all of
say
the
that.
stories. Yeah, yeah. Thank you,
I
LaShawn.
love that. And LaShawn is saying, great book. Yes, it is, LaShawn. She said it was everything and great catching up with the family. And I'm glad that she said that because that was one of the things that I enjoyed how you kind of outlined, like even at the beginning, you kind of had like a little snap picture of what was going on with each of the couples or what have you. So that was always neat the way that you did that. So guys, if you don't know, you got Tony and Craig. Boy, do you have Tony and Craig, okay? You got Jada and Zach. You got Christina and Luke. You got Martina and Paul. You have Peyton and Michael. And I'm gonna have Sharon just to kind of give you a little snippet or a little just a brief summary of each one of these couples. Start with Peyton and Michael. What can you say about these two?
I love Peyton and Michael. They might be, don't tell the others, but they might be my favorite couple.
Okay.
And I'm not even sure why. Maybe
Look,
because
here's spilling some tea.
I don't know. They're my favorite couple in the Jenkins family series. I'll put it that way. And I'm not really sure why. I think
Okay.
because Peyton, she kind of went through we got to know her a little bit with every story, and so I think they might be my favorite couple because they were my last couple of that series, and I, wanted to really hook Peyton up with someone who was fearless, fun, a little sense of humor. Michael is like all of that, very protective. And so I think they're like my favorite. And I
I
think
love
one of the
that.
other things is how their original story started off with them on an airplane. That's still today one of my favorite scenes. Where they were kind of bumped. I don't do too much enemies to lovers, but they really did bump heads a little bit for the first few pages of their original story. But now it's all love and happiness.
Right. Right. I love that. Look, and LaShawn trying to start something. She said that Paul says he need the men of Jenkins Club.
It's funny because I
Yes,
hinted
I love
about
that. I love that. All right, what about Jada and Zach? What can you share with us about them? So a little tea about them.
Jada and Zach. I struggle with Jada's original story because she is so different than what I usually write as far as heroines. But she kind of has grown on me, I guess, over the years. And I really wanted to show
Okay.
her kind of where she grew up a little bit. Yes, she's still vain and still loves nice things and all. But I wanted to show her how serious she was about her marriage, her husband, her career. And so I think I did that with their short story.
I love that. I love that. And of course, next up, let's talk a little bit about Christina and Luke. What can you share with us about them?
They are still, Christina is just a joy, kind of like, floats through life, happy go lucky. And the thug lawyer, as Luke is lovingly known as, he's pretty, normally pretty even keel, but he had a few
Uh-huh.
moments in this story where, kind of got a little riled. So, yeah. So their story has a
Yes,
little
yes.
bit
And
of
guys, if
suspense.
you mm, but Sharon, even when you throw a little bit of suspense in your stories, it's okay because we love your suspense as well. So yes. And guys, if you are joining us, we are hanging out with Sharon C. Cooper on today, guys. Her latest release, A Love So Strong. She brought us back the Jenkins family, and it is a family reunion that they are planning. And I promise you, we're going to talk a little bit about this family reunion and the planning as well. But of course, If you have not done so already, a like, tag, and share. Tell a friend to come on down to the cafe because we are hanging out with the one and only Sharon C. Cooper. Her latest release, A Love So Strong. And of course, if you have a question or a comment for Sharon, definitely put it in the comment section and we'll be sure to include you as well. All right. So, Sharon, all right, let's pick back up. Martina and Paul, what do you want to say about them?
Martina is still that character you love to hate, I think. Um she is that pain. You know how almost everybody has a family, maybe extended family member who just drives everybody nuts, and that would be Martina. Paul is like a saint, crazy patient. And but this story, she kind of like pushed him to the edge, where he really did have to start that support group that I hinted about that support group in every book leading up to this book. And so I figured I should probably have them to actually start it. So in this story, you'll get the guys actually meeting for the first time in their support group.
Nice, nice. And I want to know, of course, the last one for you to talk a little bit about, and then we'll get into some other stuff as well, because one of the things I definitely want to talk about is how you was able to piece all this together. Also, just like bring in this family back or what have you. I definitely want to get into that a little bit. But of course, the couple who starts off the book, or what have you, Tony and Craig. Tell us a little bit about them.
Tony is probably the hothead of the girls, or the women, I should say. I should stop calling them girls, but she's probably the most hothead, the most, kind of fight first, ask questions later. As shown in the story, she's the one that throws things when she's mad, and so yeah. And I started with them with this story because their short story, actually, Best Woman for the Job, actually kicked off the series. And so I figured I almost had to start with them, with the reunion story. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that. And Sharon, you was explaining a little bit that it's like five short stories into one. They're planning this family reunion. That's like the center of everything too, and that is so unique that you did that. So when you got the idea about the family reunion, and when you knew that you was going to bring them back, giving the readers what they want, did you know originally is that was the angle that you was going to take, to have like five short stories to kind of bring us into what are they doing now, or what was that process like for Sharon C. Cooper?
Yeah, that was a long process. That was a long process. And I wasn't positive how to do it. I knew that I didn't want to write five different stories. I did know that. It took me a while to come up with the concept of how to kind of bring them all together without kind of splitting up the stories. And so it was a little bit of a challenge kind of having one story run into the other. But after the first few, then I kind of got the hang of it, I guess you could say. It took me a little while though. The story took a little longer than some of the other story. And it was mainly just so that I can run the family reunion idea, have it as a common thread through all of the stories. And then to try to make five individual stories, but make it feel like one. So yeah, it was a little different,
Wow.
but I was glad of the way it came out, and based on the feedback I received, I think it worked. I don't know if I'll do it again, but I'm glad it turned
Yes,
out.
yes. And whole book, she said. Now, thinking about the work, the legwork, I'm thinking with this one, kind of like plotting it out and putting everything together and all of that stuff. Would you say that this was a project that stretched you as a writer, because you are an amazing writer. I mean, like I said, I mean, you basically took like five short stories, made them into one. They flowed. It's like one book with five stories, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Excellent job, Sharon
Yeah.
C. Cooper. Excellent job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it definitely stretched me. I'm an outliner. I plot my stories anyway. And even with the outline, it was kind of touch and go with it as far as making it work. But it really did help to have the outline, you know. But I had an original outline. Some stories kind of went in a different direction, like Christina and Luke's story doesn't look like my original outline. But, you know, sometimes you just kind of go with the flow. But for the most part, yeah, Christina and Luke
Uh-huh.
and Martina and Paul's, their stories were a little different than the outline. But they eventually came together.
Okay.
They took a while, but they can eventually come
Wow.
together. Yeah, because I wasn't sure what to
I
do with
love that.
Martina.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, Sherry, I have to ask you this, my friend. Um, when you think about these five couples, and then even outside of the couples, like, you know, you got the grandma and the grandpa, you got you just all these other characters or what have you. Which couple, okay, or you can do them individually or you can do them as couples. Um, for this story was the most interesting for you to write, you know, with their storyline, all of that good stuff. And which one kind of like gave you that pause? You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of had to, like, okay, let me just set them aside for a moment. Let me think about it. You know, let me let them talk to me a little bit more. So you got two questions. Which one was the most interesting? You can even add fun in there. And then which couple was like, okay, I gotta let them talk to me. I gotta process that. Share a little bit about that.
I think the one that gave me a little pause, well, gave two that gave me pause would be Christina and Luke and Martina and Paul, because I wasn't sure what to do with them, especially Martina and Paul. Martina, she's a fun character to write, but it's like, it was kind of hard to reel her back in. She's that character where you just anything goes. But then I kind of got a little carried away, so I had to reel it back in. So that story took me a little longer. Christina and Luke, because they were kind of like the middle story, it was like midway. It was like, okay, I need to do something different with them. And then that's when the idea came to bring in Atlanta's Finest, and then to add just a little bit of suspense, just to kind of shake it up a little bit. The easiest,
Yeah.
oh, I don't know if there was one that was easiest to write. The one where I kind of had a little fun with was actually Jada and Zach. Bringing in another
Oh,
woman
okay.
is always interesting. You know, especially since I
Yeah.
wasn't quite sure how I was gonna have Jada, you know, react. You know, first I wanted her to like beat up this woman, but I'm like, okay, she's grown, so I can't have her beating on the woman. So yeah, so that one was a little, yeah, I almost had her go there, you know, hair pulling and all that, but I'm like, nah, she's grown up, so gotta have her acting like an adult.
Now, now, Sharon. Okay, so it sounds like, you know, and sometimes it's almost like, you know, your imagination can definitely go there. So what do you do to kind of like bring it back in? Like, are there beta readers that say, you know, this is a little much, or how do you kind of wheel it back in? Because you trust me, you have some amazing stories. So how do you kind of like, you know, tie that bow on it? Like, okay, I think that's
Yeah,
enough of that.
this time I have a beta reader. Well, actually, for this story, I had two beta readers just because the story was a little unusual. And so I had two beta readers, and they each gave me, you know, each brought something different. And even the editor, I used a different
Okay.
editor than I've been using in the past for this story. And I think all three had me to reel Martina back in because her original, she was just really out there. So I had to kind of
Okay.
revamp her story based on the feedback from all three of those individuals. They were okay with everybody else, but yeah,
Okay.
and usually,
Gotcha.
it's usually the beta readers or the editor that kind of like, you might have got a little carried away, and so I'll kind of, like lighten it up a little bit. And that's usually
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
usually my
yeah.
process. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Guys, if you are just joining us, we are hanging out with, trust me, she is a fan favorite of ours. We love us some Sharon C. Cooper. She is hanging out with us
Thank
on
you.
today, telling us about
Thank
A
you.
Love So Strong, guys. It is a Jenkins family book. Sharon, we got to talk a little bit about this reunion because I mean, even the way grandma just, she just like say, look, this what we doing. They already know, you know what, whether we want to or not, if grandma said it, it's gonna happen. Okay. Tell us a little bit about that and how what
Yeah.
that was like to kind of bring the family reunion in there and to kind of keep it as a common thread, all of that good stuff.
I probably added a little bit of myself in there because I'm not really a family reunion, traditional family reunion type. I love seeing, especially my siblings. I love hanging out with my siblings, seeing them. But extended family, I'm not really
Okay.
that person. My sister says I need to work on my sociability or something like that. So I'm working on being a little more social, but I'm not there yet. And so I added a little
Uh-huh.
bit of myself in there, with Martina being kind of, like at first she was like, this is crazy. Last minute family union is not going to happen. It's going to be too hard to pull together. Um, and then, I think Martina might have even been the one to say, why we even have to do a family reunion. Because like I said, with me, I'm really cool with just my immediate, hanging out with just my immediate family. I don't need hundreds and hundreds of family members.
Right.
So I added a little bit of that, and that was all me. um the planning of it, I've been roped into planning various events um in our family. And so, yeah, so a lot of that is a little of me in there. Yeah, just
I
trying to
love
come up
that.
with
And I'm
ideas,
with
trying
you.
to be
I have
different,
definitely,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
And I have definitely, like you, I have definitely been on many of planning committees with family events, including one of the things in the book I could relate to because I remember that passing of the baton. Especially with my on my father's side, we would have family reunions like every other year, and we have family that are like up north, and then we have the down south crew or what have you. So every other year they will alternate if we travel there or if they travel down south. And so I remember at the beginning, like it would be my grandmother and her sisters and all of them, they would plan it. But then it came a time, I want to say I was in probably either like my mid 20s where they actually passed the baton to the grandchildren. So it was like we were responsible for planning it. And I mean, they were in the background as the matriarchs and stuff like that, and patriarchs, they were in the background, but it was like all of us. And it was funny because we would have committees. And of course, some stuff we would run through them or what have you. But I mean, literally, yeah, we had to have like the whole committee, like the finance committee, the t-shirt committee, that, and a lot of times we would do like remote. So it may be in North Carolina, but it may be somewhere like one time we went to Wilmington, one time we had it in Greensboro. And so planning an event that's in a different city, and we would do it big, like it's like a whole weekend. And so there would be times where like one of the events where we would find something like history involved. Like when we had it in Greensboro, we went to the oh Lord, we went to the my mind is saying the Greensboro 4, but I'm trying to think of the name of that museum. I can't think of it right now. But anyway, we went there. And then like that Saturday, we'll have like other events that we do, like something fun. We make sure we include the kids. But the big event is like the banquet, meaning like you dress to impress. I mean, it's just a whole big thing. So when you was talking about like the different planning and you was talking about, how like the older ones, how they was passing it down, that really brought back memories. I was like, man, that's kind of like for us, that's how it happened. Like the elders, they was like, okay, youngins. Like
Yeah.
we passing this baton to you guys. So I probably just shared a whole, but that really came to light when I was reading that.
Yeah, I really think so many of us can relate to that. I'm not that person who will grab that baton, So I think most people in the family would know, don't hand it to me. I'll help a little, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm not that person that's going to keep it going, and especially
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
traditionally. I'm not a traditional kind of person. So I would want something totally different that, the older people probably wouldn't go for.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Look, and Sharon, like I mean, we were on down to, you gotta have the family reunion t-shirt, like every year we had to have the family reunion t-shirt, they had to have the year that we were representing. I
Yep.
mean, we just went like all out. You already know that, there was gonna be dancing involved. So you had to break out the line dances because the elders, they like to see the youngins doing the line dances. And then we had some of them that they could get down as well. And I even remember like my Aunt Dolly. Oh my goodness. Aunt Dolly was like in her 80s at the time. Sharon, I'm talking about spunk. Oh my goodness. Yes. Like you couldn't even tell she was like her energy, like everything. She was just, oh my goodness, just thinking about her was just like so amazing.
Yeah. And I'm
Guys,
really
if you're
glad.
just joining us, we're hanging out with a Sharon C. Cooper. Hey, put in the comment section if you know about that good old family reunion, old school style. Put that in the comment section as well. Of course, if you have a question for Sharon C. Cooper, put it in the comment section as well. We're talking about her latest release that she just did an amazing, phenomenal job with, A Love So Strong. And of course, we will definitely be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy. So Sharon, we're gonna do something a little different today. We're gonna do like a word association for the people, okay? Before we do
Okay.
our giveaway
Okay.
of A Love So Strong, and you can just tell us what is like the first thing to come to your mind, or I mean, it may be a phrase. And you can share how little or how much you want to share about these particular phrases as well. Okay, so the first one, Jenkins and Son Construction.
Family business. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
All right.
Entrepreneurs and family
Okay.
business.
Family nickname. This person had a family nickname, or whatever you want to say about that. And I think you kind of shared a little bit earlier. Family nickname.
Thug lawyer.
Okay. Okay, I love that. I love that. Now, this next one, this was a part where one of the cousins was kind of going through a list, like she was going all out, and one of the things she listed was scavenger hunt and go-kart riding.
Okay, so that would be Christina. She's the artist of the family. So she, was aiming for unique things. Yeah. And it's interesting because originally I wanted this story to take place. I wanted to have this book out at Christmas time. And so originally some of the things that Christina had
Oh,
come up with were like snowball fights, making angels in the snow, having a snowman competition. And Martina, made a comment or something like, this ain't Hallmark, we don't do stuff like that. We start throwing snowballs, it's gonna be on. And so
right.
I had to take all of that out once I realized I wasn't gonna make that deadline. So, yeah.
Okay. But
But
I
she's
love that list. And then I love how they was like really coming for her. They was like, girl, please. And then they was like, and you pregnant. You ain't even gonna be on no go-kart either. It was hilarious. I love that scene. Because I mean, she was naming some stuff. She was going all out, like, yeah, we can do this,
yeah.
we can do that, these could be the activities. And they was like, okay, wait a minute.
Right, they had to reel her in.
Okay. Next one. Yes, they had to reel her in. They had to reel her in. Okay, Sharon. Next one. Supply closet.
The what?
The
What?
supply closet. Supply closet.
Oh, that would be Tony. Tony
I
was
was
on
like,
a
ooh,
mission.
okay,
Yeah.
Sharon. I was like, this how we start the book.
Yeah, because that was like the first sentence, I think, in the whole book.
I was like,
Yeah,
oh, okay. I love
yeah,
it. Oh my goodness, guys. If you have not read A Love So Strong, oh my goodness, you are missing a treat. It is live and in color. It is hot out the press. Sharon C. Cooper has graced us with the Jenkins family. Y'all know that we love them as well. And she's just talking and spilling a little bit of tea about it on today. And of course, y'all know there is going to be a giveaway. I'm going to let Sharon share what that giveaway on today is going to be, and then we'll do what we do to have a winner for today.
okay. So the giveaway is the winner gets to pick any one of my ebooks that's in the Jenkins and Sons construction series or the Atlanta's Finest series. They can pick one ebook from one of those. So basically, it'll be the winner's
I
choice.
love it. So, guys, there you have it. The winner would get a ebook, their choice from the Jenkins family or the Atlantis Finest. And of course, Sharon, I am ready to start when you are. And you, my friend, just tell me when to stop.
Okay. Stop.
Okay. And it should come up. Ruby, you are the winner. If you which ebook that you want, if you would just inbox me and let me know, I will get that over to Sharon. And she said that you did a great job with this book. So, Ruby, if you
Thank
will
you,
send us
Ruby.
which ebook, either from the Jenkins family back or the Atlantis Finance backlist. Just let us know which one you want, and I will get that to Sharon as well. Guys, it has been amazing hanging out with Sharon C. Cooper on today, talking a little bit about her latest release on today as well. Sharon, please tell us how we can get a copy of this book and how we can stay connected with you.
Okay. Readers can find all of my books on my website, SharonCooper.net. Um, yeah, they'll be able to find every book I have, SharonCooper.net. They'll be able to see what I have coming soon, also on my website. If they check that website out in the next week or so, they'll see even more stuff that I have coming pretty soon. And that website address is SharonCooper.net. They can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. But that information is also on my website, all of my links to my social media.
I love that. So, guys, make sure you're following Sharon C. Cooper at her website. Make sure you're following her on social media and be sure to sign up for her newsletter because you definitely get the in the scoop and be in the know from Sharon C.
Right.
Cooper. And Sharon, I wanted to let you know too that Riches in Reading also has copies of A Love So Strong. So I'll also put Riches in Reading is the indie bookstore. I'll put her information in the
Nice.
comment section as
Nice. Thanks
well.
for letting me
They
know.
can get copies of the books from there as well as Amazon, where
Wonderful.
books are sold, and Sharon's website. I love that.
Thank you.
Well, Sharon, it has been amazing hanging out with you on today. I'm so grateful for you coming and stopping by the cafe and talking about A Love So Strong. Guys, definitely make sure that you read it, you leave a review. I know that Sharon C. Cooper would be so appreciative of that as well. And guys, as we always say, have an amazing day because we're having an amazing day. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for
Get you a
stopping
copy
by.
of Love So Strong.